This presentation is about microcontroller versus microprocessor. We all know about both are computer chips. Both are used in programming and applications. We are going to see what are all the similarities and differences between these two. The microcontroller consists of the microcontroller and read-only memory, read and write memory, timer and I/O port, serial interface. These everything is clubbed into a single chip. Whereas microprocessor have the same set of components like RAM, ROM, I/O port and all, but they are connected through the internal system bus. Okay, so these all included in a single board called motherboard, and they are connected through the system bus. The microcontroller is the heart of an embedded system. So what is embedded system? Embedded system is like a device. What are all the works done by the device is programmed itself. So the device will work depending upon the code we have given to it. That's all. So no need of any external devices to control it and all. It works itself. Whereas the microprocessor is the heart of computer system. Computer, we know about the computers, it connected with mouse, keyboard, a monitor and all. So the microprocessor is the heart of the computer system, whereas it need many other components to support it. Okay, microcontroller has an external processor along with the internal memory and I/O components, whereas microprocessor is just a processor. Memory and I/O components have to be connected externally. It means memory means we know that hard disk and then pen drive, CD player. These are all memory. We know it. And then I/O component like keyboard, mouse, monitor, and all I/O devices. So these all are connected to the processor externally, whereas microcontroller everything is inbuilt. So these are the main difference. Since memory and I/O are present internally, the circuit is so small in the microcontroller. Okay, so as it's a device, separate device, we know that a single circuit is enough to control everything. And microprocessor, as we have many I/Os, we have separate circuits to control the each and every external device and all. So total size will be somewhat large. So many circuits, many power distributions involved in this, so that it need more space, and then in size it is too large. Then the microcontroller can be used compact systems, hence it's an efficient technique. So every microcontroller have separate technique. Okay, so depending upon the use, the size will vary and an application may vary. But here in microprocessor cannot be used in compact systems, hence it is insufficient, because a computer, typical computer will occupy more space, so that we cannot make it to compact. We need all components to be clubbed. The cost of the entire system is very low. Okay, because only one chip and then very small components are connected. The cost of entire system increases because we know the cost of a computer, it varies from 20,000, 30,000 and 1 lakh. It may vary in thousands, but smaller devices like MP3 player and all, it costs in thousands only. So that the cost wise, the microprocessor is higher. Then next, microcontroller uses external bus to interface RAM, ROM and other peripherals. So external bus, we need a external bus. Here internal bus is controlling. In microcontroller, external bus; in microprocessor, internal bus. Most of the microcontrollers have power saving modes like idle mode and power saving mode. Whereas if we don't want to use the system, we can disconnect the power and then we can go to the sleep mode or idle mode. But in microprocessor, power saving feature is not available. Whatever the case, we have to connect it to the battery or electricity, so that it will surely consume some power. The next one, Since the components are internal, most of the operations are internal instruction. Hence the speed is very fast because very smaller applications are used when standard instructions are given. See, if we program only once to the components in microcontroller, it will not change at all. We don't change the program every time. So same program repeatedly works till the component exists. Whereas in microprocessor, the applications are not same. In computers, we are using many programs in various times, so that every time instruction change. Sometime we will see a movie, and sometimes we will work for a presentation. Other time we will work with a software like Oracle, Java, and all. So that the operation are different, so that it is relatively slower. If we do more works at the same time, the system becomes slower, whereas microcontroller applications will not be slower. Microcontrollers have more number of registers and the programs are easier to write. So internally all registers available to control. And microprocessor we have less number of registers because we have separate hard disk to store a memory. Only internal programs are stored in microprocessors, so that it is memory based operation. But microcontrollers are not memory based, so that it is very easier to write. Microcontroller based hardware architecture where the program memory and data memory are separate, both are and separate memories, whereas microprocessor are based in human model or architecture where the programs and data are stored in the same memory module. Microcontroller programming can be done through the special languages like PIC, embedded C, and all. We can develop the code high-level language in a separate IDE. Then we can convert them into hexadecimal code and then transfer to the chip. There are special devices used to convert the code into hexadecimal code, and then we can uh, transfer them into a chip. Then the chip started working. That's all. But whereas in microprocessor, machine languages, assembly languages, and high level languages like Java, C, C++ are used to program. To understand very easily, the washing machines and MP3 players are pre-programmed. They will do many works, but they are repeatedly do the same work. Our button will define the works, what are all the works to be done. So we cannot change the functions at all because they are already programmed. Whereas microprocessors are used in personal computers and laptops. So now we can understand very easily what are all the differences and similarities between both. Hope you will make use of them both. Thank you everyone. Thank you. All the best.